Hey everyone, how are you guys doing today? Sure, you guys are doing good. I am cool as always. So, as you can see, we've got a brand new week and it promises to be wonderful. And without wasting any much ado, just like I told you before, we're not going to stop from moving forward. Even though sometimes we got to go back and forth, look at other things, okay, so to make sure everyone is carried along. So, but today I'm taking you back again to where we're supposed to be, which is looking at our verb tenses. And today we'll be looking at present perfect progressive. So you come with me, let's go take a look. So as you can see, we've got our present perfect progressive. So right now I'm sitting at my desk. The A section says, I have been sitting here since 7 o'clock. Right now I'm sitting at my desk. A says, I have been sitting here since 7 o'clock. B says, I have been sitting here for 2 hours. And C says, you have been studying for 5 straight hours. Why don't you take a break? It has been raining all day. It is still raining right now. Okay, look at the explanation here. They say, this tense is used to indicate the duration of an activity that began in the past and continues to the present. When the tense has this meaning, it is used with time words such as for, since, all morning, all day, all week. Better put, our time words, or time marker. So we've talked about for before and since. We use for a period of time, and we use since for a point in time. And you can see here we've got all morning, we've got all day, all week. So we use present perfect progressive to talk about actions or indicate the duration of an activity that began in the past and continues to the present using our time words. So as you can see from here, they say since 7 o'clock. So at the point in time, I started reading from 7 and I'm still reading up to this moment. So the B says, I have been sitting here for 2 hours, using for to now talk about a period of time from 1 hour to 2 hours, for 15 minutes, for 30 minutes, for 30 days. So we'll use for a period of time. And the C says, you've been studying for 5 straight hours. Why don't you take a break? For again, 5 from 1 to 5 straight hours. So that's a period of time. It has been raining all day. See, all day is our time word here to say that it's been raining and it's still raining up to this moment. Okay, the E says, I've known Alex since he was a child. Incorrect. I have been knowing Alex since he was a child. Yes, you remember we talked about this, our non-action verbs, so we don't use them in the progressive form. So because know is one of them, we cannot use know, which is a stative verb in the continuous or progressive form. So I cannot say, I have been knowing Alex since, but I would rather say, I have known Alex since he was a child. Okay, remember, verbs with stative or meanings are not used in the progressive. Yeah, that's what I was just trying to explain to you. The present perfect, not the present perfect progressive. So we can use some of them in the present perfect, but not in the progressive. We can use all of them in the present perfect, but not in the present perfect progressive. Is used with stative verbs to describe the situation of a state rather than an activity. It talks about state of mind that began in the past and continue to the present. And second to the last, we've got, I've been thinking about changing my major. Major is like when you're studying in the university, if your major, that's why we've got major. Maybe the major is medicine. Then you have other courses that, which are elective courses that you might be doing just to add up to your major. I said, I have been thinking about changing my major, maybe from like medicine to pharmacy. This one says H. All of the students have been studying hard. Final exams start next week. I says, my back hurts, so I have been sleeping on the floor lately. The bed is too soft. And J says, I've lived here since 1995. I've been living here since 1995. K says, he has worked at the same store for 10 years. He has been working at the same store for 10 years. Okay, let's look at what they say there. When the tense is used without any specific mention of time, it expresses a general activity in progress recently or lately. When the tense is used, the tense here, they mean the present perfect progressive, is used without any of the time words or the time marker. It expresses a general activity in progress lately. For example, here you see, I have been thinking about changing my major. All of the students have been studying hard. Final exams start next week. I have been thinking about changing my major. I think it's talked about it. So we're talking about what general activity that's going on. But here, we're using the time marker, which is all of the students have been studying hard. Final exams start next week, because the final exams start next week. So my back hurts, so I have been sleeping on the floor lately. The bed is too soft. But in this case, we've got with certain verbs, most notably, live, work, teach, there is little or no difference in meaning between the two tenses when since or for is used. I've lived here since 1995. I've been living here since 1995. They say, literally, there's no much changes, even when we use the time marker or the time words, when we don't use. And you remember, since is our time marker here. Since here also. So when we use them in the progressive and when we use them in the present perfect, it doesn't make any much difference. He has worked at the same store for 10 years. He has been working at the same store for 10 years. You see, you can regularly, put your hand on any of the difference between the two. So I don't want this exercise, or rather this grammar section, to take so much of our time. I'll be talking more on this when you join me at the Zoom meeting. And I'm also going to give you an exercise where we have to choose between present perfect and present continuous, present perfect progressive or continuous tense. So when we come into the Zoom meeting, we're going to review the work together. But for now, I think this is going to be enough for the day. Sorry, I found this, and I'm not going to let you go without bringing you over here so that we can look at this together. Okay, these are special, this is one of the special cases that we usually have, with our study here. So let's compare, because we've got American English and British English. So we have discrepancies sometimes. there are some nuances that usually, emerge while studying. So let's quickly look at this one. Here we've got A and we've got B. So let's read and see. I've gotten or have got 4 letters so far this week. In this sentence, have gotten, have got is present perfect. Note, got is used as the past participle of get in both American English and British English. Gotten occurs only in American English. Okay, B section says, I've got a problem. In this sentence, have got is not a present perfect. I've got a problem simply means I have a problem. The expression have got means have. Have got is equivalent to just saying to have, and is common in informal spoken English. Its meaning is present. It has no past form. These are special cases. Typically, the present perfect is used in sentences with already, yet, and just. But in some situations, the simple past is also commonly used with these adverbs in informal English with no difference in meaning. Very interesting. Like we already knew, we use our present perfect with what already, which is our time words, yet, just, since, and other. But sometimes we use them also in what? Simple past. In what? Informal English with no difference in meaning. So you see, we play with these tenses. It's not as if there is a specific way, but all you just need to do is to follow the rules and understand when not to, go beyond your limits. But as you can see, even though we can use these already, all these time words in our present perfect, we can as well use them in the simple past when making sentences in informal English, informal spoken English. So it's important for you to understand that because we've got 2 brand English-speaking giants, so to say, because they're not the only English-speaking countries in the world. We've got Australia, we've got South Africa, we've got, like 6 of them. But majorly, they are the yardstick or the model that the rest of the English-speaking countries follow. So we usually use them, American and British English to teach the students, because most of the schools prefer to use American English in their teaching, while others prefer to use British English. It is always good to let it be known to the students the difference between the 2 English speaking countries. I'm going to explain more on this one, but it's important that I bring your notice to this. Possibly I'm going to send a clip of this to you in your Facebook wall so that you can maybe make a note out of it just to remind yourselves. Okay, with that said, I think that's going to be all that there is to it for this one. Yes, it's always good to take you through my boardwalk section where I have to explain some couple of things to you guys. And this one isn't any, less important as the others we've done. So we'll be doing more on this. I'm going to send you a clip where you can make a note out of the American and British English. And I'm also going to send you a worksheet exercise to test your knowledge on the present perfect and the present perfect progressive tense. Okay, thank you for watching. It's always good to have you here, and see you on the rebound.